So once again, class 12 Biology. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting feature present in the flower that is called outbreeding device. Outbreeding device. Now what is outbreeding device? It is a mechanism which is present in flowering plants. That is a mechanism of self-development. This mechanism is self-developed by the flowering plant. This mechanism is for discourage the self-pollination and to encourage or promote the cross-pollination. Why the self-pollination is decreased or why the self-pollination is discouraged? Because in continuous span of self-pollination, actually the flower or seed or the plant reduce their fitness. Some genetic disorder also arises in their body, in their formation. Also, they reduce the output, the seedling formation. The quality and quantity of reproduction also gets reduced. So this is a mechanism which is present in flowering plants. This is self-developed mechanism. It discourages the self-pollination and it promotes the cross-pollination. So what is outbreeding device? It is a device or mechanism. It is a mechanism developed by or it is a mechanism which is self-developed. This is self-developed, which is self-developed by flowering plant. Flowering plant. Why they develop this type of the mechanism? Because they want to discourage the self-pollination and they want to encourage the cross-pollination. Plants to discourage or to prevent self-pollination and to encourage or promote cross-pollination. Why this mechanism is developed by the plant? The question is why this mechanism is developed by the plant. This mechanism is or this device is developed by the plant because continued self-pollination reduces its ability. It produces inbreeding depression. What happens if the continued self-pollination is going on in the plant? Inbreeding depression is occurring in plant. So why this process is going on in the plant? Because due to continuous self-pollination and inbreeding depression occurs in plant due to which what happened in the plant? Because of this inbreeding depression, the quality and quantity of the plant or the seed gets decreased. Okay, it is due to the occurs in plant due to which fitness is reduced. Okay. Now second, genetic disorder is also built. genetic disorders. Okay, genetic disorders create. Okay, next it reduced the pollen output. Reduced pollen output. Pollen output. Okay, what happened next? It also decreased the quality and quantity of seed production. Decrease the quality and quantity of seed production. Quantity of seed production. Okay, now what happens? The plants develop a mechanism in their body that is called the outbreeding device. Why they develop this mechanism? Because continuous self-pollination reduces their ability, their capability, their quality of production because of the inbreeding depression. So, because of the inbreeding depression, certain things arises, their fitness gets less lost, their genetic disorder created, reduces the pollen output. It also reduces the quality and quantity of the seed production. So, whatever the process by which the plant read out, the flower get out from it, that is called the outbreeding device. So, what next? Various ways used by the plant to get off from this problem, from inbreeding depression. So, there are various ways by which the plant, because it is a mechanism made by plant only, so there are various ways by which the plant get out from it. What are the various ways by which this mechanism works in plant? First way is called dichogamy. Dichogamy. Now, what happens in dichogamy? Dichogamy is the process in between the synchronizing of releasing of pollen and readiness of the stigma. If pollen or anther sac dehisces or breaks, the pollen is spreaded all over, but stigma is not ready to accept that pollen. Pollen is released, but the stigma is not ready to accept that pollen. It means there is no synchronization between the releasing of pollen and readiness of the stigma. On another hand, stigma is ready to accept the pollen, but pollen is not dehiscent. So that is the synchronizing between the male and female part of the flower. That is called the dichogamy. So what is dichogamy? Release of pollen and receptivity of the stigma is not synchronized. At a time, one of them are not ready to perform the process. That is called the dichogamy. The two conditions are here. First, pollen are mature, but stigma is not ready to accept that pollen. That is called prolandry. Prolandry. What is the meaning of the prolandry? That is the type of dichogamy. Prolandry. It means pollen gets mature, but the stigma is not ready to accept or accept that pollen. Okay, what is prolandry? Pollen get ready, but the stigma is unreceptive. That is called the prolandry. The second condition is also there. That is called the protogamy. What is the second condition? That is called the protogamy. What is protogamy? It means gynoecium or stigma gynoecium or stigma get mature, but at that time the anther sac is not ready to release the pollen. gynoecium or stigma get mature, but pollens are not ready. Anyhow, the synchronizing between the male and female part of the flower not occur. So this is the one way of the outbreeding device generated in the plant. The second is called herpogamy. What is the second? Second is called herpogamy. Second outbreeding device is herpogamy. And what is herpogamy? In this type of the outbreeding, the male and female part of the flower stay in different heights. See the hibiscus flower. In hibiscus flower, you must visualize it clearly. This is the female part and all the male parts are here. They are in the different heights. It means the same anther sac is unable to spread the seed or the pollen on the stigma. So what is herpogamy? Herpogamy, it means the male and female part of the flower is female part of the flower are in different heights. Different height of male, that is the stamen and stigma. If this arises, then also self-pollination is prohibited. Now, what is the third type of outbreeding device? That is called self-incompatibility. Self-incompatibility. Now, what is self-incompatibility? It means the stigma itself prevents the germination of pollen tube. The stigma prevent the germination of pollen tube. If pollen tube is not germinated, then the fertilization does not occur. The stigma itself prevents the germination of the pollen tube. One more way is there, that is called unisexuality. There are two types of the flower. One is called the hermaphrodite, that is called the bisexual flower, and second is called the unisexual flower. The fourth outbreeding device is unisexuality. Unisexuality. It is very much clear by the name. It means it produces unisexual flower instead of the bisexual flower. If the bisexual flower is there, means both the male and female part is there, and self-pollination condition is more over possible. But if the unisexual flower, then self-pollination condition is automatically get reduced. So plant produces unisexual flower. Unisexual flower to reduce self-pollination. So these are the various outbreeding devices by which plants prevent the process of self-pollination. What is the aim for What is the aim for outbreeding device? The simple aim, the plant wants to prevent autogamy, but not the methanogamy. If plant or flower wants to prevent autogamy, that is the self-pollination, but do not want to prevent methanogamy. but not getono, but not getanogamy. What is they prevent orthogamy, but they don't want to prevent getanogamy. What is the difference between two? Orthogamy occurs in the same flower of the plant, but getanogamy occurs in different flower of the same plant. You know from the previous classes. These all are the outbreeding devices used by the plant to prevent the inbreeding depression. Inbreeding depression that is built in the flower after a long course of self-pollination. To prevent that, the plant use all these processes that is called the outbreeding device.